Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and I just saw the movie Alien Romulus, and this is going to be a little review slash overview of the movie while my thoughts are still fresh and everything. So I've always been a really big fan of the Alien movies. My favorite one of the franchise is probably Prometheus, which I know is kind of a weird pick, but I really like prequels, and I just really like the story and overall vibe of that movie in general, and the cast, especially with Michael Fassbender as David in it. And overall, I just really enjoyed that movie. So I was really excited when I saw Alien Romulus was coming out because finally we have a new Alien movie after 7 years since Alien Covenant. So this movie is directed by Fede Alvarez and not Ridley Scott for once actually. And I'm just gonna say Alvarez because I don't I don't know if it's I don't know how you say it. Is it Fede? I don't know. I just want to say Freddy, but it's Fede. I'll just say Alvarez. Alvarez did a really good job at capturing kind of what everyone liked about Alien in the first part. I like every Alien movie, well except 3 and 4, really kind of. So I guess that's actually not all of them. But he really, I've heard people say that it's completely off topic that Dark Souls 3 is a love letter to Dark Souls 1, and I feel like this movie is really a love letter to not to Dark Souls. This movie is really a love letter to Alien 1 slash Aliens. So quick, like spoiler free, like just like thing. Um, Great movie. I'd probably give like a 9 out of 10. Um, you should watch Prometheus, and then you should watch Alien before watching this. In my opinion, it'd just be kind of good little thing, just so you can understand more. And yeah, just go see this movie. It's great. And yeah, that would go into spoilers and everything, and kind of talk about the movie itself. So going into the movie, first of all, the first thing we see in this movie is Weyland Yutani going to the remnants of the Nostromo, which I thought was just super cool. Right away, you could see it's just like this is a callback movie, going back to stuff that we have seen before, and just overall putting stories together. That's what this movie is really about. It's about going back to basics, but also combining all these movies into one and kind of more understanding. Taking Prometheus and Alien One and kind of just putting them in one. So when Yutani finds the alien that Ripley ejected at the end of Alien One, with the harpoon to the stomach, bring it to the Romulus, and that thing wreaks havoc. And yeah, that's kind of like the beginning of the story and everything. And I'm just gonna kind of go like to different parts of the story, just parts that I thought were cool. One of my favorite parts about this movie definitely were, well, one that just I remember seeing this in like news articles and stuff. A new cast, like just of young new actors who are just like getting on the scene for the first time, and they all did a really good job. And you were all like just really kind of liked them. Some of them definitely could have used more screen time, but hey, it's a horror movie. A lot of people just need to die. So as the crew finds the Romulus and they're going through the spaceship, there's just like so many callbacks to which I've seen people say that the director Alvarez was definitely inspired by Alien Isolation, the video game, and you could see so many of those things. There's this little scene where I think it's Andy has to like pull this crank down 3 times, and you do that a lot in the video game, a lot. And the vents too, the vents that like just cut open really weirdly, that just gonna give me a big vibe of Alien Isolation. I don't remember if those were in the old movies or not at all. The weird ass vents that look like fucking anuses. I don't remember if those in the old movies or not, but those were in there and all gave a big Alien Isolation vibe. Same with just the ship they're on. It's huge. It's kind of like, it reminds me of Sevastopol. It actually kind of looks like Sevastopol if you like took one of the parts of Sevastopol off the big pointy things. That's kind of what the Romulus spaceship looks like. Another thing is the Romulus is actually in 2 parts. It's the Romulus and like the Remus, I think it's called. Um, and like the Remus is, I think the Remus is more kind of like where everything went down with like the killing and like where the aliens unleashed and killed everyone else on the ship beforehand. I think it'd be really cool if they did like another movie that takes place there. Kind of like how there was the Thing prequel, which was kind of like, it was basically just the same exact movie as the Thing, but takes place beforehand and shows what happened. It'd be kind of cool, like something like that, but actually a good movie. And for the Remus part, one of the coolest part of the movie for me was them finding an android, and that android being the same model as Ash from the very first movie. Ash was the person on the thing that they find out is an android, and he's kind of like evil, really only thinks for the company, Weyland Yutani. And it was really cool to have like him there. It's like because at first I was like, wait, I think I know what they're gonna do, and they did do that, which was so cool. The CGI definitely could have used some work on Ash because his actor, I forget his name, but the actor who played Ash, did die back in 2020. So they couldn't obviously have him, and he'd also probably be a bit too old. So they had to use just full CGI for him. CGI definitely did not look too good, but also it's fine. It's whatever, really. Really cool to have him back as sort of a character. It's not the same character, but it's the same model of android, same pronunciation, same kind of ideals and everything. It was really cool to see. Seeing so many face huggers at once was so like surreal. It was just like so freaky and kind of oh, it was like just like every time I like watch an alien movie, I see a face hugger. I don't think of a spider, but for this movie, when I see all those face huggers crawling around, I think of spiders. I was like, okay, my arachnophobia does not like that. It was pretty freaky. The way the face hugger in this movie latches onto people, and the scene where they pull it off of I don't know her name, but the one lady who gets infected, the way they pull it off, and the tentacle like just takes forever to come out of her throat. It's so gross. But facehuggers in this movie are definitely very they're a very big part of it in the first half, and they're everywhere. After a while in the movie, the first victim, the one of the chest burster, seeing a chest burster scene in 2024 in that amount of like grotesqueness and like CGI and like actually it wasn't even CGI real, it was all like I forget the word, but the way they made it look, you could hear her ribs cracking when the chest burster was coming out. The way like it was like so like the blood looked real, the way like it came out was more like not just like a hole, it was kind of just like really kind of just oh, it was disgusting. But that chest burster scene was so like such a good like just kind of like I said before, it's such a just a love letter to the first movie, and they did it really well there. And then after a while, then after we see the alien go into a cocoon and start getting really really big, like he does, which I don't feel like we've seen before. Maybe we have. I just don't really remember seeing them do that much in like the cocoons and then just coming right out. But I forget his name, but I forget. I should forget. I don't even remember any of the cast members' names because I was having such or not cast members. I don't remember any of the characters' names because I was having such trouble hearing in the theater. I always put earbuds in. It's so overwhelming and loud. I don't remember any of their names, but one of the guys he puts a like shock baton in the cocoon. He's like, "Oh, I think I got it," and then I forget exactly what happens, but the acid blood starts falling on him, and it's like I've always kind of wanted to see like really what happens to someone whenever the acid blood gets on them, and we finally were able to see that in this movie. You can see it like go on his fingers start disintegrating, goes on his chest, and it kind of just like goes through his chest, which you don't entirely see, but still you can see him like hitting everywhere, and then it's like, oh my god, okay, well, yep, that happened. Yeah, but like finally seeing like what the acid blood really does to a person was so just grotesque. I was like, okay, this is another thing about the movie. I feel like we're finally seeing so many things we wanted to see the aliens do before, like just certain kills and everything like that. Another one of the kills was what's his name? I don't know. One of the guy main character other than Andy. He's like hoisted up into this the nest, and then all these aliens start coming after him, and we get to see the second alien mouth just go straight into his skull and explode. It was so cool. We only see it for a split second, but still, it was really awesome to see, and everything. Alien design in this movie was also just really good in general. I kind of wish we could like, I don't know. I think it was the movie itself was really dark. I'm pretty sure the original was too, so it could be something they were doing. But there was a lot of times where it was like way too dark for me, and I kind of wish I was able to see the alien more, just kind of more detail. But also, I understand why they didn't. Something super interesting about the movie for me was since Prometheus is my favorite alien movie, they were able to tie in Prometheus lore in such a weird and cool way to this movie. So they took like the facehugger DNA and like other DNA, and were able to find DNA strands that linked to the black pots from the Prometheus film, which gave out this like black goo that David would use to kill some members of the team in Prometheus. So they were able to kind of use facehuggers to get that black goo and I'm just gonna call him Ash, the same android model, um, wants that goo and wants to bring it back to the company, Whaley Utani. So they were able to take all that Prometheus lore, the black goo and all this stuff, and put it into this. And they eventually used the black goo to, they're like, oh hey, look, if we put it in this, this is how we get humanity on top again. This is how we fix things. This is how we cure people. Blah 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 blah. And it shows like them injecting a rat with it who was dead, and then the rat is alive. But then I don't see like 20 minutes later after that, the rat like spontaneously turns into some like weird ass shit, and like it was freaky looking. But I love the way they are taking they're taking Prometheus, the beginning of this whole timeline, how that created everything, and like the engineers and all those people, but they're also taking Alien 1 and taking that lore and putting it in this movie, taking Prometheus, putting it in this movie, and mixing it all together, and it's like, hey, we're all connecting this now. We're all connecting everything together. And then like the main part of this movie for me was like, as many people have said and seen, the director Alvarez said there's a scene in here that's going to be one of the most grotesque in movies in a while, and you're gonna be grossed out when you see it or something like that. And I was like, okay, I'm really curious what this is. Like, is it this thing where like the guy's like fingers gets melted off or whatever? I was like, what is it gonna be? So get to the end of the movie. After one of the main characters who was dying, she uses the black goo stuff on herself to cure herself so she doesn't die. She's also pregnant, and so near the end of the movie, it's that part of an alien movie where everyone's on the little ship. It's like, oh, okay, we're finally getting home safe. We're off the big ship. We're going out. We're finally home safe. But it's like, it's an alien movie. Like in Alien 1, there's always the stowaway. Alien 2, I think there was something like I don't really remember. There's always something like that where there's a stowaway or something. So it's like, okay, what's gonna happen? I knew it had to be something with the black goo. So the main character opens the cryo bay thingy with the girl who took the black goo, and she's freaking out, she's bleeding, and she gives birth to an alien egg. There's so much blood, and it's fucking disgusting. And she's like, get it out, get that thing away from me. So she picks it up, the main character picks it up, she like runs away with it, and then she drops it, and she sees there's a baby in there, and she's like, oh, that's a baby, but it's in like an alien egg. So she drops it like down to a cargo hold, goes to get it. The baby's gone, and it turns into one of the most horrifying creatures I've seen in film. And I was like, oh, okay. Each alien movie has had their own little offspring of an alien. It's like Alien had the alien. Alien 2 had the alien queen. Alien 3 had like those weird like dog alien hybrids. Alien 4 had the weird fucking baby thing. Prometheus just kind of had the weird fucking worm things. I forget what else. And the engineers. Alien Covenant had the deacons and other things. And then this movie has that freaking baby turns into this freaking thing called the Offspring, and it is so goddamn freaky. I was like, okay, there's gonna be some fucking horrendous creature, but I was not really knowing what to expect. And then this thing came out, and I'm like, okay, wow. I was really not expecting something like this. I'm not sure. I wasn't really expecting what the final act was gonna be, but I'm like, okay, it has to be something insane. And here's this thing. Now there really isn't many pictures of this thing on the internet right now since this movie just came out. But here's another little picture. It's like, you can see it's like it's really thin. It has an alien tail. It also has the alien second mouth, but it's also kind of like a sucker. It like sucks things. I don't know how to explain it. It was really gross. And it has like the face of like an engineer from Prometheus, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. It was really freaky. And then here's one more picture. This is actually one I took of the thing, and that's its face. And yeah, I don't even know like how to like. I just keep saying it's freaky because that's what it freaking is. It's terrifying. And yeah, that was the like last antagonist of the film. And I really thought that the main character was gonna die. I was like, I don't know how you're gonna like run this thing and everything. It was strong. It was fast. I would have just died of a heart attack. But at the end of the movie, like any alien movie, she blows it out of the airlock. It also like kind of, I think it like melts. It like grabs her at the end and like uses the second mouth to like crack her helmet thing, so she almost like suffocates, but she makes it out. The thing falls into some planet's rings and maybe dies. Probably not. These things never seem to die. The weird ones never really die. So anyway, last two things I can think of. One of the funny things was, so there's this character named Andy, and he's a sentient, I can't think of the name, android, there we go. He's an android in the movie. And he's like, I'm not sure like what is like if he has like, I don't know if it's like programming has an issue in the story or whatever, but I kind of just like see him as like he's like an autistic version of an android, which I could say I'm autistic, don't come at me. But he's very kind of like, he's just like very kind of, he's very silly and kind of funny. And near the end of the movie, he saves the main character, and he's never like cussed in the movie or anything, but he saves the character. And while he's gunning down an alien with a gun, he's like, "Get away from her, you bitch." He says it in such a funny way because he doesn't usually cuss, so he says it in like such like a timid way. It was so funny. I guess they had to throw in that line somewhere. They didn't really need to, but hey, it's fine. Another thing about this movie that I thought was really interesting is the way it explores just how depressing this universe is. At the beginning of this movie, it's like a mining colony run by Weyland Yutani, and they're just trying to get off this damn planet that people are just constantly dying at. It's so depressing, and their parents have died from just different things in the atmosphere and casualties at the mine. And Weyland Yutani just doesn't care because they're a big corporation and everything. And you can just tell in this movie they're really showing that this company's just, they're just fucking assholes, and they don't care about anyone. And it's just that kind of grungy, dirty look and feel on that planet. It's like no one here is happy. Everything is corrupt and just not good. And it just shows that so well to a degree the other movies really haven't. But anyway, like I said, I think I gave this movie like a 9 out of 10. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I'm hoping for more Alien stuff soon. I love the Alien franchise. It's so good. I just love it. I hope we won't have to wait another 7 years for another movie. I'm hoping maybe they can do something with, like I said earlier, the Remus side of the ship. Maybe showing more of that would be kind of cool. But also just more stuff in general. I want more. I want more. Maybe they can explore what happened after Alien Covenant and stuff like that. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video. I know this is pretty different, but yeah, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.